Welcome back. We're the Four Compadres, and we're here to give you the latest on entertainment, film, and other geeky stuff that we like to talk about. I'm Larry Fleming, and we have
Valerie Freeman, Talk with the Real Stars.
And of course, making his triumphant return to the podcast arena, Mighty Joe Greatness. Thank you.
Ryan.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyhow, this is a really busy week for us. I just picked up my Dragon Con badge.
Ooh.
So that's going on today through Monday. If you're in the Atlanta area and you want to see the best convention in the world, you need to get down and join us.
Yeah, and it's 30th anniversary, 1987, when it started.
For Dragon Con,
30
yeah. So
years. That's amazing.
it's a very popular show, and it's the only convention in the world where it's not in a box. It's not in the convention center. It's in the five
It's actually
hotels
outside.
downtown. So anyhow, going to the convention, I'm going to take advantage of one of the features that I usually find there, and that is I can find someone that can authenticate and value my comic books. We're seeing all this insurgence of movies based on these. Well, these have been around for many, many years, long before some of us were born.
That's what
So
started it, yeah.
this is what started it all. And you've got Spider-Man, different versions of it. We've got Hulk and the Silver Surfer there, the Defenders, the original Iron Man. He is so corny looking in this original suit that Robert Downey probably wouldn't want to wear that.
No.
Well, actually he did when he got
Yeah,
out
I
of
was
the
going
cave.
to say, yeah, when you got out of the
like
cave.
the Tin Can from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's the Tin Man, yeah.
So all the things that you're seeing now on screen started off as a comic. And you want to protect these things, keep them in a plastic cover. And if you get some of them, like this one here is signed by Stan Lee,
So cool.
this is a low value comic. So I'm having him sign it on the front. If
Okay.
it's a high value one, we're going to open it up and we're going to sign it somewhere in the inside or on the back.
yeah.
I do have a question. There's been different versions of Fantastic Four, only like two different versions. The first one was good. Stanley made a cameo on it, but the second one he didn't. Does that decrease the value of the original comic?
Well, the comic book itself, obviously, if the fans are into that particular genre, they're going to like the comic book. And it's supply and demand. But there are collectors that will collect the original versions
Right.
that don't care whether they're doing well or not. They're so into it that
Yeah.
they don't care.
I think that remake of the Fantastic Four devalued itself.
It really did not make it. That's completely different too, because the Human Torch is actually white. No offense, but it's like different. So it was. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them. Original artist work was really, really good on some of these.
Oh,
so you need to check them out. And they are still producing. I've got some numbers here on current comics. And the number one on here, though, has got nothing to do with Marvel. It has to do with The Walking Dead. It is the number one selling comic book anywhere right now.
That's great.
The show is still doing
Yeah,
good,
the
and
show's
that's
still
filmed
popular.
here locally. So as long as both are doing good, there's going to be a lot of money
Atlanta
involved.
loves zombies.
Yeah, currently
Yes.
filming season 7.
Yeah. Wow.
But then after that, in the top 50, you've got mostly Marvel, but DC starting to move up. And one of the big wigs of DC said that their comic sales now are picking up, and he hasn't seen sales like this for years. So people are really getting back into
Right.
watching the films and going back and reading the comics now. And
I believe DC started first with the comics, right? Or is it at the same time?
it's roughly the same time.
Because I remember Superman was in the late 30s.
Stan Lee didn't
Yeah.
start Marvel; he
No.
ended up taking it over.
Taking over, yeah.
And he didn't make, these guys didn't make any
and
money
let's not
back
forget-
then. They didn't make money selling these things because this was considered that Stan Lee is not his real name. He didn't use his real name when he wrote a lot of these because it was considered second-class citizen to write a comic
Comic
book.
books, yeah.
If you're an author and you write a novel or something like that, it's a bestseller, that's okay. But if you write a comic book, they don't want to have anything to do
And
with
let's
you.
not forget that mainly the reason that Marvel has been doing so well with their recent comics, even the one, do you have Dungeons and Dragons? People have been really interested in Warcraft and all those video games, and it started with a comic too.
Yes, it did. And I've got one in here. And World of Warcraft has a new patch out, by the way.
There you go.
So if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, you want to check it out. But see, that's the original that I have on this one here. and I'm making too much noise for these microphones. But, bear with
So I
me.
wouldn't have thought they would have had their own comic because it's mostly
Exactly.
role-based playing game. So they actually have storylines to it. That's kind of interesting.
I know, and then making a movie out of it was even more interesting.
But they've got so many comics out for all of our favorite topics that we're talking about that they don't have to do any writing for years. So if you like our show, talk about it. Describe what you like about it. If you want to see something different that we're going to talk about, let us know in the comment section down below.
Please subscribe to our channel to watch many more videos of the compadres.
Yeah,
I have
I'm sorry.
No, so I have a quick question for you. My brother, he's like me, he's a huge comic book fan. I showed him a picture of that Fantastic Four. How much was that when you first bought it?
I don't remember.
Here,
It was less than $1 though, I'm assuming,
12
right?
cents.
12 cents. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That'll
Yeah.
buy a cup of coffee back then too.
That's amazing.
Maybe like
Yeah, I mean, if you still got a trunk full of these somewhere, you need to dig them out and go get them valued. And when you get them verified, there's a site you can go to for that. But I'm going to get mine verified at the convention. Just look up comic book verification. You can find the site. Send your comic to them, and they will rate it as far as value. And if you got an autograph on it, you got to have something that certifies that it was a real autograph.
will you sell them or your next generation?
I think if I got completely destitute, I might sell them, but other than that, I'm not.
Your kids will?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an heirloom. Yeah, passed down.
And it had like a inheritance or something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do the tax claim on this because I got a few that are pretty valuable. I didn't bring my most valuable ones because they're still locked up.
Oh.
I've moved and they're in a safe and I
I
haven't
think
brought them out.
that's probably a smart investment.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time.